Hey there, AfterBuzzers, and welcome to the AfterBuzz TV after show for Law & Order Special Victims Unit. Tonight we're talking Season 17, Episode 23, Heartfelt Passages. So stick around while we share our thoughts and predictions.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
All right, guys, this is it. Finale episode of very intense and dramatic show. Oh, guys, unfortunately, Yellow's not here to enjoy this after show with us, but
Even more
so
sad.
I know, makes it even more sad, Yell. Come on. But you've still got all of us. I'm Lauren Salon, and you guys can find me everywhere online at Lauren Salon. And we've got Isabel and Jesse. How's it going, guys?
Good. Yeah, you can find me all over the internet at isabel.do.
Boom, everywhere at DJ Jesse J.
Awesome. All right, so big sad day for us.
Called it.
Here. Yeah, you
Called
know,
it. Last week, called it.
I cried. Like legit bawled,
Actually cried.
teared. My
Yeah.
roommate looked at me like, what are you going through? I'm like, they really killed him all.
And see, I think we kind of felt like this was coming just because we
Right.
knew he was moving on to, in real life, that he was moving on to some different projects and Broadway stuff going on, but we're like, it's still in New York.
Right.
You can do both.
It could
Come
be
on.
open-ended.
Yeah. So,
still
but
come
no.
back.
They chose to break our little hearts.
I think there was a part of me that was hoping that the previews weren't like the preview.
Leading to that.
Yeah, because I felt like the preview pretty much told us like what was going to happen, and I was hoping, oh, maybe it's one of those things where they're tricking us.
Right, like a sneaky
Yeah.
preview situation, like the bait and switch. I feel like that happens all the time.
But
I also felt like it should have been a 3-part episode because I feel like we got so many storylines, and some of them I feel like we didn't finish them. Other ones it was like okay, so wait, no one's coming and killing you, attacking you anymore. Like we're just happy at a bar now.
Yeah.
Like it was just so many storylines that I would have liked them fleshed out maybe one
Well,
more.
they're just
Right.
leaving things for us to pick up on in season 18.
Yeah.
That's how they're doing it. So let's get back to where we were from last week. Obviously, we're in a part 2 situation. We've got Gary, our corrections officer, who has been raping women, and that we saw all of that go down last week, and tons of people coming forward. It was just crazy. Like, seems obviously like they've got a great case against them. Like threats, the SVU squad is getting a lot of heat from other police officers and stuff because you don't turn on your own sort of
I
thing.
thought they were going to go more into depth with that. I
Yeah.
thought we were going to see some sort of protest with the whole, like the big horde of
like the union or something.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, we did see the 2 union, what were they? Like the lawyer and
Right.
Yeah.
the president.
Or at least something more against like Olivia and her team and kind of like, why are you guys taking this on?
Right.
Like it was, yeah.
But I think these, we'll get into predictions and stuff, but I think these kind of loose ends in those directions could, we can kind of pick them up.
Great finale, though.
Yeah.
I
next
mean,
season.
Amazing finale.
So yeah, we've got our guy Gary, who's been raping women everywhere, chapels, random cars, rooms, but not beds. But speaking of beds, guys, I want to tell you a little something about our friends over at Casper. So, guys, we do these shows for you guys, and we do tons of them, and we've got awesome sponsors like Casper that have great stuff that you guys should totally check out. So the Casper mattress is an obsessively engineered mattress at a shockingly fair price. It combines springy latex and supportive memory foams to create an award-winning sleep surface with just the right sink and just the right bounce. This is very SVU material for us. Time magazine named it one of the best inventions of 2015, and it's now the most awarded mattress of the decade. That's
impressive.
great job on making a really awesome mattress, guys.
yeah.
So with our deal we've got going with them, you guys can get free shipping and returns to US and Canada. You can try Casper for 100 nights risk-free in your own house, and if you don't love it, they'll pick it up and refund you everything made in the US of A. And you guys can get your own or learn more about it at www.casper.com/AfterBuzz and using the promo code AfterBuzz, just AfterBuzz, so you get $50 toward any mattress. www.casper.com/AfterBuzz, and that promo code again, AfterBuzz. So go check him out. Thanks again to Casper, and let's dive back into it. So, our plot. We're starting off with Dodds' last day. He's transferring to the Joint Terrorism Unit, which in the past, his, Papa Dodds was kind of like, that's where he wanted him to go. Baby Dodds wasn't really feeling it. He's like, this is my crew, I want to stick around. And gosh, that last day, like, going away party, I mean, hit you with the foreshadowing, like, right out of the gate
just
there.
a little bit.
Yeah, and then Finn even saying, like, well, why are you leaving? Joint terrorism's where you get killed. We just like get the bad guys and lock them up. I'm like, I don't know. You guys go through some really dramatic stuff too. Like, I wouldn't say like SVU is all like easy peasy.
Fine and dandy.
Yeah, no way. So did you guys like feel that? I know, Isabel, you were saying last week that you definitely felt like we were going in that direction.
Yeah, even when Finn said that, like, oh, people die in joint terrorism, I was like, oh my God, is that a sign? Are you telling us something? So I think they've been purposely putting these little Easter eggs along the way, leading up to what has happened.
If this is why I don't do spoilers, but if I didn't know that somebody big, something might happen, I already kind of had it in my head. Whereas like watching it, I don't know, I was kind of along for the ride. Like, all right, it's his last day, he's gonna go. But then once he was like, no, I'll come.
Yeah,
it was just kind of like, okay, superhero. Yeah,
let me handle it.
Where's this gonna go? I think it took me until that moment to be like, what's about to happen right now? Definitely thought he was getting shot, but I really didn't see it coming to the end.
I think it's very much his character though to always do that. Like when we look at past episodes, he's always like, I'll do it. He's always like eagerly volunteering
wants
himself.
to be the hero and stuff, and prove himself, all that. But yeah, it was just those nuggets where you're like, no, don't. You're gonna die. I feel like I had that kind of feeling ever since we knew he, took the Broadway job and was doing other stuff, had other stuff going on. You're like, oh, well, he's leaving for sure. How are they gonna play it?
But this is the first time.
Right to the heart.
But this is the first time in all 17 seasons they've actually killed off a main character. Yeah. Everybody else has had some sort of exit, like Amaro went to go move to be closer to his daughter, and then,
retiring. Families,
And this is the first time they've actually killed it. And I feel like that's just something we see a lot on TV, not just Law and Order, just like all across the board. Like, people are apparently not afraid to take a risk. Showrunners here are not afraid to take a risk and just knocking out the...
Well, with a show like this, I think it's important for you to take that risk because that happens in real life, And for 17 seasons, for it to go by in a New York, station, it makes me kind of wonder, like, well, wait, this probably should have happened a little earlier, 17 seasons.
Well, and even like with Law and Order, in the procedural format, it tends to be predictable sometimes. So mixing it up like that is really good for viewers too, to kind of be like, oh, psych, you like them? Watch what we do. Boom. Yeah, it was, I mean, I guess like of all the people to go, it's kind of like better than like, we didn't get to know him that well.
Like if it was Finn, we would have been like, wait, what?
No, like, take that back.
We're really just starting to love him and like, I get what you're saying. Like turn the table with him. We're like, okay, we don't know. He's kind of a goober. He's kind of like a daddy's boy. Like all this stuff.
It was a safe choice.
Yeah, but then you're like, no, he's one of them.
Yeah,
he's on our side. Like he's here to stay. They love him. And
I didn't love him until he started dying. I'm watching this episode and I'm like, oh my God, this is so sad. I actually like want to see what would happen after this, And it's like, well,
yeah.
There was I don't know if we're getting way too ahead of ourselves now. But
we're like just leading with emotion.
Yeah.
So let's just go with it right now.
Because there was
actually probably like
I know she's
stressed.
Like, stay on track.
It's okay. We're here.
Yeah, we're going on Lauren's schedule, and I love it. So there's this at one point I did have hope that he was going to stay alive, because and that was the moment before Olivia realized he wasn't speaking properly.
Well, that was such a trick, that he makes it out of surgery and then it flips it on you again. But yeah, let's dive into that a little bit more and talk about like leading up to it and all that. So obviously, you know, they're at this party. Liv's like, oh, we got to peace out to go do this house call, you know, domestic violence sort of situation. Like, let's get her out of there safely. And I was so surprised that she was still at the house. And first of all, the wife.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think of the initial conversation? Did you feel like it was kind of like when she told her she did the STD check?
Yes.
Like,
I wanted to be like, what'd you have?
yeah, well, I did want to know.
What was it?
Probably like syphilis or the clap. But like, I just, in that moment, it was interesting to me because I felt like, again, I'm always watching Olivia, and when she gets out of her character for the character that I think Olivia is, I felt like that was such an awkward exchange throughout the whole episode. Olivia and that character, from the bathroom to even just at home. I don't know, I felt like Olivia didn't have the we need to save her, like
she wasn't more aggressive with it.
Yeah.
Like more
it was just interesting to me how Olivia moved through this episode. Like, her mind was there, but kind of off on something else. I don't know. It was just weird. Even, not to jump ahead, but when she was outside with the kids, like, everything to me was just like she was moving kind of slower than.
I think because
maybe she was drunk. Just kidding.
I was waiting for that last shot when she took that shot, and I was like,
she's back at the therapist's office. Next is going to be a scene with her and a bottle of wine.
She did have a shot, though.
Yeah.
I feel like she has changed, though, because I feel like her priority goes with children now.
Okay.
And so she was all about getting the kids out first, which I think in previous episodes, maybe it would have been more like get the mom and kids together, but this was like more about the kids. And actually, Laurie in the chat roll said, I didn't care that Dodds died. The fact that Olivia blamed herself was heartbreaking. And I think Olivia realized that too afterwards. She's like, that wasn't really me. Why did I do that? I'm the one who should know better. So I think she realized that she was out of character herself. Yeah.
It's easy to go there, though, in that moment.
Right.
You know?
If something goes wrong, like thinking all the things that should have happened differently.
Right.
But you never know.
So, okay. So they're at the jail. Was it the jail or the courthouse where she said she wanted to run away?
I think it's at the courthouse.
So, okay, she tells her that. Then they say he's getting...
lower bail, right?
Yeah, so he's going to get out.
And
That's where the confusion came for me, because like you said, why was she still at the house?
Then okay, if you know he's going for lower bail, like, why don't we then just sneak out before
Well, she did say that all the COs were banding together to pay for the bail. So I'm assuming maybe that happened pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And he seems like he's been soaking it up and marinating in his house the entire time, so maybe she hasn't been able to like get away from him. But my question is in that first scene when in that scene where she's like on the phone with Olivia and she's literally on the other side of the wall, and he's like,
that's what I thought too. I'm like, oh, it's a trap. That's what I was thinking while I was watching it. I'm like, it's a trap. He's listening and telling her what to say, and they're gonna lure them in. I'm like, wait. She's sneakily having this phone call? No, you aren't. Like,
I know, you're
go
pretty
to
obvious.
the bathroom and turn on the faucet or something.
Text.
Yeah, text
That's
messages.
quieter.
Oh, gosh.
And then delete. And I'm surprised she didn't delete all of her lawyer interactions, which she should have done.
She was, you were a little real slow in this situation, because you know, when Olivia gave you the card, you should have been, ma'am, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to get away from my husband. I need it now.
Right.
Get me out now. No, I don't need your card. I need your car. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we forgot to do the disclaimer.
Oh.
Not that was
Oh
bad. It was
no, Yell is killing us. Okay, you guys. Oh my goodness. We haven't gotten into too many awful things, but we've got a hotline for you for the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. We were just so taken by
It was
emotion.
just a lot.
It's 1-800-656-HOPE, 1-800-656-HOPE. Once again, Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. And disclaimer, in case, hopefully we didn't say anything way too offensive already, but obviously SVU deals with some sensitive topics, so if, you know, we may make jokes about them because sometimes it makes these sorts of things a little bit easier to talk about. I'm sorry in advance or retroactively. Oops. Okay, let's keep going.
Yes. It was funny what you said, though.
Thanks.
Yeah, good jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was a little, you know, I definitely thought we're heading into a trap with our people in that situation, because the wife, you know, it took a bit of convincing, which obviously, like, when it's your husband in that situation, you want to believe whatever they're saying. And I know last week you were saying, you know, would you stick by your person with all these allegations, or like what would you be thinking? You know, I think at least you're like, oh, maybe we should have some space while this is going on.
Yeah.
What's going to bring?
Yeah. I'm just going to do this while I think through things, you know?
Or like usually the whole default I'm going to stay with my parents. Right, you know what I mean? Like, I'm taking the kids with me to the parents.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so we've got, you know, they come in, and he's obviously very, like,
Drunk.
you know, very drunk and disturbed and stuff. And, you know, we knew quickly it was going to go into that type of situation. And somebody, I think Larry in the chat said a few minutes ago that while Liv for sure would have gotten in trouble, she should have, like, pulled the kids in there to...
I've done it so many times.
It's
It's
such
so
a no-no,
bad,
you know?
Or at least say to him, there was a moment where I thought she would at least say to him, I will not I cannot leave your kids. When she said the last thing I need you to do, I thought she was going to say is release her so that I cannot move the kids until she is in the car with me.
Right.
Like, I thought she was going to use that more as...
But I think it's probably, like, protocol.
Because that was the only weakness he was letting them know.
Yeah.
Oh,
The thing is,
I had such anxiety over
She
this.
could have, like, broken the... But like you were saying, you know, she, like, the kids are the big priority, but she could have, like, gotten a little, like, wild and used that strategy.
Let's take this to the next level.
Yeah.
SVU. I think, like, I think it would have still happened even with the kids.
Yeah.
Even let's say there's no protocol and she puts the kids in there. I think he would have actually held the entire family hostage.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was crazy. I mean, there was a moment where I thought she was going to bite his arm. I thought she was going to have strength. And then when she was like, he's not going to shoot me. We love each other. And then he kisses her head. I was like, oh, this is creepy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what was this relationship
But that's like
like?
what you do when you
Yeah.
are, like, being kidnapped or held hostage, like, in all my experience.
Well, like
you
Liv
know,
did
but-
last season.
Yeah,
when-
you, like, play into the crazy person a little bit
Yeah,
and, like, see if you can, you know, calm the situation down by, like, feeding their
Ego.
craziness. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was risky, and yeah, that gun going off, you know, we knew somebody. I had no thoughts in any way that Liv would be, you know, that anything was going to happen to her in that situation. But yeah, right to the stomach, and then obviously everyone rushes in. Like, I was very surprised at how Papa Dodds was so calm in that situation. Like, initially, like, he was very, like, okay, jumping in, doing what needs to be done, like, let's take care of business, compress, like, all this stuff. And
I loved it.
Yeah,
I thought it was so real.
Yeah.
I thought it was the realest moment we've seen of the episode, or past couple episodes, honestly, acting wise. It really took me out of the element, because at first I thought it was weird, but then you start thinking about it. Personality type,
flip into
no,
that
I
zone.
cannot believe what I'm seeing. I know what I have to do. I saved this person a million times my whole life. Just go through the protocol. That was such a really cool moment, actually, that they let us
to see
I
him
liked
in
it.
action, in his element.
Exactly, like how, because we see him so much as the political guy that's, like, kind of annoying because he's playing the political game and usually, like, pisses off our people or gets in the middle of things, and we're not always sure, like, where his alliances are. But this
softened him
yeah,
up.
oh yeah, it was great to see that, because we see him in action in a very intense real life situation. But then also you see, I mean, Peter Gallagher did such a great job with this whole episode, but you see these moments of, like, oh no, everything's gonna be fine, and he's like, totally, it's no big deal.
In denial of it.
And, you know, in that moment, like, snapping into action, but then also even, like, at the hospital being like, oh, his fiance's coming, she's great, you'll love her, sort of thing, and being like, oh gosh, you're like, you're gonna just, like, crumble any second now, you know? It was, and he did obviously break down and stuff, but it was that, like, back and forth of being really coherent in a very weird way, like, oh, you're not
your brain, you're not
in
fully
shock.
with me
you're
right
in
now.
shock right now, and acting like nothing's really happening, but then
Still taking
like,
it in.
kind of, like, wavering and then breaking down. So it was really great.
What I thought was interesting, to kind of go back to the conversation during the whole hostage situation, what Munson, that's the character's name, right? What he said was, he was talking about how he was a bit defensive with Dodds. At first he was like, you can go, you don't need to be here. And then he kind of went after him, like, you're the golden boy. And he's like, my wife's dad. Because the wife, her dad is an NYPD officer.
His fiance?
No. Munson's father-in-law.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he's an NYPD officer. And we see him come at the end. And he said, you know, I tried to get a job. He tried to get me a job, but I couldn't get it. Do you guys remember that? It's a kind of quick moment, but in a hot second, he said something to the effect like, "Oh, you're the golden boy. You're like."
I remember the golden boy comment, but I don't remember.
He followed up with how like, "Oh, well, my wife's dad is an NYPD officer, and he tried to get me a job, and I couldn't even get it, or they wouldn't give it to me." So I felt like there was
he let the internal anger
there was so much more behind him that we don't.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where it's like, at this point, I've lost everything, and it's like, you're sitting here, like, I couldn't believe he kept telling him to leave, because it's like, at this point, no matter what, you're in trouble, so it's only going to get worse from here. So telling him to leave, so what, you can kill her, like, and then what happens? Like, it was just so interesting. And then even just the way, like, the phone call, and that all he wanted was his kids to be moved away, and then hang up the phone. And I just keep going back to last season. Or was it last season or this season? No, it was this season, where the guy and the girl, they got on the phone, and he wanted a car to drive to the helicopter, to drive to this.
Oh yeah, I remember. It's when the hostage situation.
Hostage one, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt we were gonna go that way, and then it just ended. Like, wait.
Well, then we totally switched gears to our people and stuff, and took a big turn. I did love how Carisi jumped to be the blood donor.
Oh
like,
my
of
God,
course he's like, I'm match. I'm going.
I'm negative.
Like, of course he would. Yeah.
I'm a universal donor.
Yeah, he's so sweet. And then of course, like, Dodd's coming out of surgery, like, we think like, oh, like, he did make it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so we had that risk. They, like, took us on this emotional roller coaster, but
He was
now
smiling.
we're gonna be okay. Yeah, he was smiling, but then the speech thing.
He was starting to slur. Oh, you know what's funny? When that moment was happening, I started to turn on the volume because I was like,
yeah, after the first one, because I was like, wait,
what did he say?
Yeah.
I had to rewind. I literally rewinded. And I asked my fiance. I was like, did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? And then he's like, I don't know what he said. I was like, okay, let's replay it. And I was like, okay, it's not just me. I think he really is slurring. And then that's when Olivia was like, she had her suspicious face. I was like, okay.
I know, and she's like, maybe we should give them a moment. I'm like, oh gosh, she's letting them say goodbye to each other. No,
Yeah.
like, this is.
But I love that she caught the moment, and then I love that on the way out. Again, it's like watching Papa Dodds go through that. But I loved when she walked out, she said, no, I think we should just say something to the nurse, because that's a real life moment. Like, you are a detective, you notice things like that, you would report something like that, versus where I think other shows would kind of just like, well, we're gonna let them have their moment, we're gonna sit out here, and then all of a sudden the doctor comes out. I like that she spotted that. It was
She
really,
caught that. She was very cognizant of it. I would have said the same thing as Papa Dodds, like, oh, he's on a lot of drugs, like, they're just kind
like,
of
he was not worried about it at all. Like,
Yeah.
But it was so, like, the way that they played it, it's clear it's not just groggy from drugs, they were like clear, like logical things that were off and stuff, and just like weird stuff, which is a brain signal issue. So yeah, they said he had a stroke essentially, and ended up being brain dead. It was really
and then when he was
sad.
just the way he explained everything, like, that was just great acting, because it was just I was in the room there with all of them. Like, I really bawled out, yo. It was so sad. I was like, I cannot believe I'm crying on Hulu right now. Like, but it was just in that moment, him describing like the process and all that, and then just seeing the fiance, and then Olivia just really trying to hold it together.
Yeah.
And then when he fell out, Oh my gosh,
I
y'all,
know.
that
moment, and how he kind of just like his whole like lip was just quivering while he's like crying, and he turns away and he's covering his face. Like it almost looks like, I don't want to show emotions,
Yep.
but I don't know how to not show it. And then she like kind of comforts him. It was such an endearing moment, like, because you just never see that from him. It's like you said, like it was so real. He was very real in this episode.
Great job, SVU.
Yeah, it was excellent. And then Liv walking down the hallway like by herself, like quiet, and just the look on her face, and the whole team down there like, you know, knows what happened, which also was really, I mean, obviously, regardless of what like little dumb crap happens along the way and like who's your favorite and stuff, like in your own team, like obviously they all love each other so much, but it was, you know, you see like the intense pain on everyone's face so well.
Finn's face reaction was real intense.
I know. I was hoping at the end I would get to see more of Baby Dodds' brother. Because
or touch on it.
Like because his mom came from India and then his brother came in from Mexico, and they literally just had a profile shot of him. And I thought, I don't know, because they've mentioned some hardships with the brothers.
Well, even when Big Dodds is talking to Liv, and he's like, Matt, you know about Matt? Like, because like you don't talk about Matt because he's the screw up of the family. You know, oh, like Dodds,
he's starting over
Dodds
50th
told
million
you
time.
about Matt. Oh, you guys must be close, sort of thing. You know, he must be part of his family now. You know, so yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised we didn't go a little bit deeper into that, and I don't know that we ever.
Yeah, because it's like we're lost them. So
yeah,
we're never going to anymore. But I felt like that was a missed opportunity that they could have touched him.
Yeah.
Just maybe his brother kind of, I don't know, something in closing with his brother. See somebody, Steven Sewin says maybe a speech from the brother would have been nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wrap it
like
up.
just something little, you know, a quick eulogy. I don't know. But did you guys know about the showrunner
Warren Leight
leaving?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that in a little bit. But I guess actually what he said about killing off Dodds, we can say that. So, you know, he said that they thought a lot about that decision, and obviously, like you said, never killed off a main character on the show before, but it seemed like the right way to go, and it helped arc out everyone else's storylines. And since Warren Leight, so the current showrunner, he's leaving, so it'll be a new showrunner next season. Lots of the same writers, of course, but he felt like it really was like the best way to kind of end what he had been doing as showrunner also. And you know, he said that if Dodds is going to leave this team that's come to embrace him in their own unique way, then he wanted him to be carried out by his fellow officers, like how and really his fellow cast members. And yeah, like how right in the heart, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I actually have another quote that he said. So Andy Karl is the one who plays Baby Dodds. I love how we call him Baby Dodds because I didn't realize his first name was Michael.
Yeah.
I think they probably did mention it, but we never call him that.
Right.
We call him Dodds, right?
Yep.
Baby Dodds. So he said, I feel bad about it. I liked Andy. I loved working for Andy. We gave him more and more. He got stronger and stronger, but he's going to do a musical. When I heard he got a musical, I said, oh, you're going to catch a bullet, he said with a laugh. Again, it was, what is the reality of police work? You don't catch a bullet chasing a bad guy down the street. In this case, it's domestic violence, which is the single thing cops fear most.
Interesting. Oh, very.
But at least, you know, he went out on a high note, trying to save somebody. And he had the opportunity to walk away, but said absolutely not.
Yeah. Great,
All right,
great
Dodds.
job, Baby Dodds.
Love you.
It's great. I think it's a great way to
Went out
dedicate
strong.
to all our men and women out there who are putting their life on the line for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So that, I mean, I think that's kind of like rounds out our Baby Dodds situation, which is so sad. I do always love though seeing our team get all dressed up in their
I do too.
uniforms.
They
and
looked
stuff.
amazing.
You know, we get that every once in a while, but it's fun to
Yeah.
see that for sure.
It was.
Probably
and
collects dust in the wardrobe.
Right.
When he's out.
they all look so fancy and polished. So our kind of like, you know, and then we go on to the funeral and like the wake, and everyone, I liked that everyone was kind of, you know, spirits were a lot higher than I thought they would be at that time. You know, even with like Barba was like so Barba had been dealing with all these threats and stuff, which was kind of scary. And we'll get to that in 1 second. But you know, when they're all meeting after the Dodds situation, he's like, oh, that's nothing. Like, you know, let's all kind of be here for each other and enjoy each other's company, essentially, you know, and like celebrate Dodds. And so that was nice, because I think they, you know, it's obviously a shocking death, but they like celebrated and kind of remembered his life.
And Olivia telling
way.
how what's her name,
Rollins,
how he had hid it from her,
yeah,
and that he took the blame, and I thought that was cute.
I love that they tied that back to the episode where she was accused of bringing the police files to light.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that they tied
nice
that
little
back.
memory.
Yep. Good tying up some of those loose ends for us. And then our fun little situation with Liv and Tucker.
I love
okay, yeah. So they're walking along, and I mean, even in the hospital scenes, like them, like her, you know, on his shoulder, like just very tender, very supportive, and I think we've all come to really love this relationship with them.
Yeah,
and
they're such a gorgeous couple, no?
right? Yeah,
And SVU gave it to us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They on a platter.
He was on the knee at one point. Can I?
Oh yeah, let's talk about this. So they're walking, right, and they're talking about everything, and like, oh, I really love this relationship. I for sure. He gets down. I was
Yep.
like,
I know. I was like,
I'm
no
watching it,
way.
and I was like, what's happening? And the people, I had headphones on and watching it at home, and everyone's like, wait, what? What's going on? And I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna propose. Fake out.
I know, it was a total
It was
fake
such
out.
a fake
I know,
out. He
I
just
got
went down to like, you know, say hey to Noah.
I was
what
like,
a trick.
I knew it wasn't gonna happen because Nashville gave me Scarlett and Gunner, and I was like, "There's no way SVU is gonna give me this right now." But you know, what I mean? It
Yeah,
was cute. It was
they're holding on to that.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Saving-
and that's
saving.
fine. But at least now you've given it to us, and we know it's there and
Like, it's a solid relationship, and the fact that he is
moving.
departments, he's not going to be
Right,
working
he's
for.
leaving IAB, and he's like, "Oh, we should get away for a little while, maybe Paris."
Yeah.
You know, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that
But
sounds
that
great."
scares me too a little
Right?
bit.
I was like, "You're not going anywhere, Liv."
Right, because next season better start. Oh, our summer in Paris was great. Not we ain't seen no Liv because she in
Yeah,
Paris.
right. But yeah, exactly.
I think we're going to see more of Tucker too, because he's going to be working with hostage negotiations. And I wonder if they did that on purpose.
And it's gonna be an international episode. Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
Ooh, international crossovers.
Oh, you know what?
I
They
would be
haven't done
so
that.
into that.
They've never.
Interesting.
They're in Paris and like
don't
something
think so.
happens and you know Liv couldn't stop if like there's a missing boy or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wait,
that would be so random.
It's very Liam Neeson.
yeah, very
Yeah.
taken.
Yeah, very taken.
That would
for
be
sure.
super random.
Please do that. Oh, I would appreciate that so
Yeah,
much.
and we have a little visit too for Liv before they're, you know, having that sweet moment where she is with her therapist again, talking about how, you know, it's so like dealing with all this stuff. And I don't think we've seen her with her therapist in several weeks
Yeah, it's been a
at
while.
this point. You know,
He doesn't seem as creepy this episode because I've never really been warm towards him.
No.
He was less creepy this
He
time.
had I like the
He's got,
words
like-
that he had to say.
Yeah.
It was like I think that's what made it less creepy because it was like a good way to just kind of finalize
Yeah.
everything.
Right.
He had to be appropriate. Real quick, Katie Cat said, I seriously thought he was going to propose or they'll elope in Paris.
Maybe, yeah. Sadia is saying she's going to come back with a ring. Maybe, but gosh, leave us out of seeing that beautiful moment.
No, that's not happening. I
Yeah,
can't.
no, we kind of have to witness that.
right. Yeah, oh, that would be very
This
interesting.
is just too big. You know what I mean? If it was like
Larry wants Liv in Big Dodds. Larry, get out of here.
absolutely.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Hey, Sammy R.
agrees.
Sammy R. also said, I have always thought that her therapist was creepy. LOL. See,
He has one of those murdery faces.
Yeah, like
You
he
know?
could be like Dexter or
Unfortunately.
something. Like,
Yeah.
Like he could be,
I kind of
sociopath.
I kind of secretly hope that he's in a future episode as a villain.
Oh, he
Oh, that's
uses
very
all Liv's
interesting.
secrets.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, Samantha. There you go.
That-
Samantha solved it. He was a serial killer on CSI. I felt like he has been a murdery guy before, for sure.
Murdery guy.
Just one of those murdery guys.
CSI crossover.
Wait, what was the what was the case? Or maybe I'm bugging. We already brought it up. The case that Rollins and was working on when she called Liv for Liv's help. What case was that?
She was calling. Liv for what?
Remember she had to call her and Carisi, right? Early in the episode.
This episode.
And she called Liv and said, we have a situation. And
that's
Liv,
right.
What
that's
were they?
right.
What was that?
They were calling about Barba.
Right.
They had
threats.
Sorry.
We need to talk about Barba more. Actually, we've kind of,
So
that's kind of a big thing.
Continued on from last week, and I mean, Barba got pretty freaked out about that whole situation.
And I love that they talk about that, because I always think about that. Like, everyone's Googleable, everyone's searchable, you know, and I have a friend in the system, you know, and he always says, you got to be careful about who you talk to, who people in here know that I talk to. And it's like, because they will find all these different ways, and they will knock on your door.
Yeah, come on. It's not hard to stalk someone and find out.
Especially as big as Barba. I mean, this is like the guy out here. So
like, how many cases has he already gone over?
I was super nervous. Like, I didn't think like that guy would be ballsy enough to really like pull something. Like when they were in the elevator, but I was like, dude, this guy could just like stab and run.
I thought he was gonna shank him in the
me
elevator.
too. I was like, oh gosh. I was very nervous. I love how like cool and collected Barba is in those moments, and like such a badass. But the second the guy runs away, he's like, help me, Rafael Barba. That's a good one.
I would have been screaming, but he was quiet about it. He's
Yeah.
like, that man just threatened me. I was like, why did you?
Yeah, he just threatened my life. Like, you know, get out. He's so like
Quick.
so Barba.
yeah.
So Barba.
I just love him. He's just badass. I know, but I was getting nervous about him too, because
they should have actually.
what?
They should have what?
That would have been the craziest finale, don't you think? If they stabbed him, but he survives. I'm just saying.
Right. No, they shouldn't have.
No, yeah, I don't
We
want to
have
go.
too
I
much
love Barba
heartache.
way too much. Like,
Too
that
much
can't
heartache.
happen to him. That
Yeah.
can't. But I didn't like how quickly it was just like, oh yeah, I'm not even worried about it here.
Well,
like, but you were worried about
So
it.
nonchalant about it.
Well, because there are bigger things in life to be upset about right now.
Yeah. So it could come back.
Oh, I think so.
I think it's gonna come back. I think it's a like it's just a lead-in.
Yeah.
It's like a little like.
All right. Well, I mean, shall we? Do we
Speaking
feel like
about
we have
lead-ins.
anything else to cover for this this finale?
Larry just said Barba needs to learn how to fight. He acts scared.
He does, but he's
So
He's
cute.
a prosecutor. He's not a.
yeah. He fights with his words, Larry.
I like that there's somebody who's scared because, gosh darn it, there should be at least one person.
But
life.
he's like doesn't seem scared to that bad guy's face.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I loved it when he like wrote down his address. Well, that was last week and
Bring
stuff.
it.
Yeah, loved it. Yeah, so I think it was a solid one, very emotional. Let's talk a little bit about where we think things are going. Share some predictions. Ooh, yeah.
And now, your
Look at these
AfterBuzz
hand
TV.
motions. If you guys, are only listening in, we're doing some really great dance moves.
You're missing out.
They're not dance moves. They're weird hand motions. Anyway, okay, so lead into some predictions. We have Warren Light, current and transitioning out showrunner, saying that he's leaving. He wanted to plant a few seeds for the incoming creative team, saying that there's going to be a lot of aftermath to deal with going forward after Carisi. Oops. After Dodds' death. There's a hole in the squad now, so even if Dodds was only with the team for a short time, they'll still feel that loss for a long time. So this really, obviously really sets the tone for next season for sure. So obviously, I'm sure we're going to have a new person coming in.
For sure.
which
But
is
in the
kind
same
of
position?
exciting.
I don't think so.
Or a promotion. I mean, Finn again mentioned like, well, people keep telling me I need to apply for the sergeant or whatever position, which has been happening. Like, I feel like that's a running joke with the team that Finn needs to apply to it.
I
And
felt
move up.
like there wasn't a lot of Finn this season. I don't know if
I definitely agree with that, but I think that
light.
also might be because he was doing things in real life, and I think they just had a baby, so
Oh, true. That's right.
Yeah.
if that took into place, maybe
Yeah.
maybe next season now he can be sergeant. And
Right. So do we think he might go for it? Maybe he moves
doesn't
up
feel right
into
yet.
sergeant and someone else comes in as a detective.
It doesn't feel right yet because they're still like on him about little things and like how he keeps trying to push cases off and stuff. So
Yeah.
if he is, I would need it to be a big thing and be like 2 or 3 episodes of him like you know, a
big life
conversation.
change or
Yeah, like a
something,
conversation
you know?
with someone being like, you need to step up. You need to do this. You need, like.
Because there's no leadership quality
Yeah.
about him yet. Like, I don't feel like he steps in as a leader. I feel like he's more of the commenter.
But maybe the death of, you know,
It'll change
dogs.
things for him. Yeah, and he's becoming a grandpa and stuff, you know?
Ooh,
Realizing that he's got to
maybe.
step up and make for his family.
Jeffrey Crane Graham, is that you in the chat? He predicts that
Graham.
Ice-T will ask to have some clarified. I don't even know what that means, Jeff.
Why is your name the body part of a fish?
Samantha Deganaro says
Jeffrey.
Stabler returns as the new detective.
Well, Stabler, we did talk about this a few weeks ago, that Stabler said he'd come back like when they're ending the show.
he
So
needs to shave off that beard first.
Yeah, so we don't want to see Stabler for a while. It's like a very big conflict. You know, we want to see him, but we don't because that means the end. So anyway, so I think that Tucker and Liv are going to stay. I think that's going to be like a solid thing, and there may be like a. I don't know if we'll see like a Buxton, Tuxton, whatever we're calling them, wedding, but I think they're like for good.
Heavy dating.
Yeah.
Heavily dating.
Like pretty.
Like gonna
pretty
move
steady.
in.
Yeah.
I can see them moving in for sure.
Ooh.
Because he did have those like words about
I
like.
think Yael would hate that
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, she would.
She would
I
absolutely.
don't know, because she really likes them together, but she doesn't like the Noah part of it.
Well, he said we got a good thing, us three.
Yeah, so
I thought that was really sweet that he embraced Noah too.
right. So I see them kind of moving back in. So Gemma Love says she wants Amaro back, though I believe I saw somebody in here saying that Danny is going to be on another show somewhere else, so probably unlikely that he's coming back.
That would be awesome, though.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that the Barba stuff is probably going to come back.
Oh, hands down for sure.
The threats, I really do.
I think we're gonna have a new, younger detective come in,
Yeah, I think so too.
and I think maybe a girl.
Oh, that would be so nice.
I think
I think we should have a girl because it would be really nice if Rollins now kind of settles into more of a leadership role because she's been kind of a loose cannon, but I think motherhood's probably, you know, softening her and like making her a little bit more serious and focused on things, which will be really nice to see her move into that leadership type role.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like a big promotion or anything, but get like, you know, just be more of a solid part, you know, a solid part of the team in that sense, and then maybe have like a new person to mentor.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we know she's good mentoring too. So like,
I would also like to see somebody of a diverse background.
Yes.
Like maybe Middle Eastern or somebody like of a different. I would love to. I don't know.
get an Asian girl.
Yeah, an
to be
Asian-
the-
yeah.
somebody with some cultural background that might conflict. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
All right, so that's a lot of great predictions. So real quick, let's, you guys all out there in the chat, listening in, all of you. So thank you so much for tuning in. We've got like 40 people chatting. Samantha, DeGennaro, Sadia, Larry, Fox, Katie Cat, Jeff Graham, Sammy, Steve, SVU Girl 15, Ariadne. I'm not seeing Hanan. Hanan, where are you? Amanda, Gemma, like tons of people. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
We love having you talking with us. We love that you guys tweet to us, all that stuff. And we would love for you guys, if you haven't already, to get on iTunes and give us a 5-star rating and write us a lovely review. As Yael always says, 5 stars only. 4 stars if you don't like it. The rest don't work. So 4 or 5, those are the options. And if you leave us a review, we will read them on air. And we've got 2 to read today. So 2 new ones, which is so exciting. All right, so I'm gonna read this one. It's titled "The End of Season 17." 3 sad face emojis, 5 stars from Montana King 199. I don't know. This was from the 23rd, so this is from this week. Gosh, I can't believe that it's already the end of season 17 for Law & Order SVU. Time has gone so fast, but I'm so ready for season 18. Big fan of the AfterBuzz show. One throwback episode I think you guys should talk about is Charisma from season 6, episode 7. One scene in particular that sticks out to me was when Mariska's character, Olivia Benson, was interrogating the mother of the pregnant 12-year-old. Mariska's acting in that scene was phenomenal and Emmy material. Thanks for this AfterBuzz show. It's the best and you all rock.
Yay.
By the way,
thank you.
congratulations to Isabel due on her engagement.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
so
Montana
much.
King.
Thanks, Montana King.
Awesome.
That's so
And
sweet of
one
you.
more. Let's read one more. Okay. This one is titled Love, 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 5 stars by Pretty Lady Katie. I love listening to the podcast. It is like watching the episodes all over again with funny comments that keep me laughing and laughing. You are welcome, girl. We love these reviews. Thank you, Goo guys. Keep doing it, and we'll give you a little shout out on the air. We love it. Yeah, rate, comment, subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV if you aren't already. And now let's get into a little Isabel's info. I believe you have something to share today, right?
Yeah,
Isabel's info corner.
Really, kind
Some
of
news for us.
Yeah, some news for you guys. I mean,
The effects, production value.
So I was actually interested in officers and their fatalities, and
yes.
they actually have a whole breakdown from 1791 all the way to 2015.
It's like a few years.
Yeah, just a few years, just over 2 centuries. And the total deaths of officers, I actually, not to downplay any of this, I actually thought it was going to be higher, but it's 20,000, which I think is pretty crazy. It looks like,
From 1970?
from
1700.
1791. And
Yeah, that's... Yeah, not to downplay nothing.
yeah, I don't want to downplay anything, but the biggest fatality for our officers is actually auto crashes. Yeah, auto crashes, and then number 2 is by fire related.
Yeah.
By gunfire. And guess which law enforcement state deals with the most fatalities?
Los Angeles.
Nope.
State.
Come on, you guys can get this easily. Come on.
Florida.
No, come on.
Texas.
No.
New York.
Yes,
Oh,
New
dang it.
York. Yep. So, yeah, New York is up there. So yeah, I thought those were
We're
kind
just
of
going for the
interesting.
big states.
I know you guys went from California to Florida to Texas. What happened?
Well, I think California, because like I used to live in New York, and then I remember like there's a website where you can like look up for the neighborhoods that you're living in. It tells you like death rates and all that stuff. LA is pretty like intense.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't
go to it, because it will make you like. I wish I never did, because I haven't experienced that out here. Knock on everything. Jesus, thank you. But like, yeah, LA's pretty tough, and like the gang life out here is still alive and kicking, and
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Compton's always.
Completely.
I was looking at like the 100. Like this is.
or St. Louis too. It's
Yeah,
pretty
St. Louis
bad
is
out
up there. Compton is the worst city in California. So
Really?
yeah, out of all, no, yeah, it's Compton and then Oakland. Oakland used to be like the number 1 in the
St. Louis is the
US.
number 1 death capital, murder capital.
Oh gosh. Do not meet me in St. Louis.
Yep,
You
I
guys
found
see
out
nice
that
joke?
fact in St. Louis at a
that's
hotel
fun.
in a
That's fun.
snowstorm. I had stuck in St.
Ooh,
Louis. And
that makes you
Really?
feel real
it was
good,
like a
huh?
stone that said it. I was like, wait, is that like a real thing? Yeah. I'm like, you're proud of that?
Oh gosh. All right, guys.
Sorry.
Well, that's very interesting. And you were saying in 2015, did you already share that stat?
Yeah, in 2015, we had 123 officers.
Which is like unfortunate, in its at all, but it's a pretty low number.
Yeah.
I mean,
for some reason, I feel like that's a low number.
I was
don't know
thinking,
how to gauge those
I was
things.
actually kind of guessing around like, 3,000.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how law enforcement. Obviously, these guys have to protect themselves because they're putting themselves out in line.
Or like, how many officers are there in 200015 in general?
Right,
like,
right.
I want to know that
yes.
number.
Yes. That would be a better way to make an educated
Well,
guess. But
900,000
The jelly bean.
900,000 sworn law or enforcement officers are now serving in the United States. The highest figure ever.
100,
And only 2,000?
200.
200?
About, no, 100.
20.
123.
Well, that's a great percentage, I think, for the
yeah.
total. Yeah. All right, cool. Good facts for us. So yeah, I think that just about does it, and we're about out of time here. Very exciting season. So excited for season 18 to pick up in September at some point.
Crazy. 18. About
Right?
to 18 seasons.
They're
Crazy.
a grown up. SVU is a grown up. So in the meantime, you guys, where can everybody find you?
So guys, my name is Isabel Du. You guys can find me. Just search Isabel Du. I'm like the only one. I am. I really. There's a yoga instructor out there named Soleil, but
You guys can Google me too. I'm literally the only Jesse Janity in the world. But you
Great.
can tweet me at DJ Jesse J.
Awesome. And like them, I am also unique and the only Lauren Salon, I'm pretty sure. So it's everywhere. LAUREN, especially Snapchat, Instagram, those places. And we will be doing some episodes that we missed, but we're going to take a little bit of a break. So be sure to follow us on Twitter and stuff so that you guys get notified when we're picking up and filling in some of these episodes. But thanks again so much for everybody tuning in this season and for everybody in the chat right now. We love you guys and we have so much fun watching this show with you. So have a great evening.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.